How do you do, my fellow squishies? And apparently I need to update my friends list on the Steams or something, maybe? I don't know. Hold on. Invites? I don't know. There's a hugging floors. Goodness gracious. Haha. See, the problem is I am horrible at names. And thank you, John Leonard, for the confirmation. But yeah, man, all you humies look alike to me. You know, bipedal, bilaterally symmetrical, and, you know, squishy. So keeping track of your individual entities, so forth and so on, is occasionally challenging. Anyways, as someone mentioned previously, who was that exactly? Oh, right, Internet Gravedigger mentioned we will be proceeding on our usual rant before we proceed on our usual game. For those of y'all who do not follow me on Twitters, the first question, of course, is why? And the second statement is you've missed some really fascinating going-ons in the past week or so. There apparently is a award competition thingy going on, and it is now entering its fourth year, that only just this year they decided to implement some sort of like code of conduct or something. It's a really not great... Wow. Before I get too much further, Eclipse Warlord, thank you for once again dropping some memberships. That guy just comes barreling out of nowhere and just like drops these membership bombs on live streams, and it's just amazing. So yeah, be sure to thank him in chat as well, because he is consistently awesome at that. Regardless, 4 years running, some rando award that honestly I had never heard of before, which isn't saying a great deal, but it is technically a science fiction related award, so you'd think I would have been aware of it, or you'd think their advertising advertisements would have reached me or something, but regardless, anyways. Just this year, after 3 years of previous operations, they decided to implement a code of conduct. Okay, a little strange, especially since they implemented the code after they already accepted submissions for the award, which is kind of the wrong way about doing things. You should typically implement your code of conduct before you start taking submissions for the award, but fine. Lots of people had lots of things to say about the code of conduct. The amusing thing to me, at least, for what little that's worth, is that the code heavily implied that any science fiction story that involved violence, sexual activity, or bigotry would likely be down-checked simply because the judges wouldn't want to read it. And I had to take a second and process that in its full depth. Because, wow, violence in science fiction. I mean, every science fiction, from Jules Verne to Arthur C. Clarke to Heinlein to whoever is the current big science fiction name on your planet right now, involves sometimes a not small level of violence. And, I mean, okay, sexual activity, fine. That can go a variety of different ways, but they were somewhat vague in the aspect of it. I mean, is a married couple doing married couple things sexual activity? I don't know. Is, for example, non-consensual sexual activity? Sexual activity? Yes, clearly. But that also rules out some, like, options for the bad guys in the story. I mean, bad guys are supposed to be bad, right? Which leads us, of course, naturally, to the no bigotry rule, or recommendation, or limitation, or however you want to phrase it. So you're saying that my bad guy, my antagonist, the person who everyone is supposed to hate in this story, is not supposed to be intolerant of other people. I have so many questions. Now, beyond my admittedly limited objections to their code of conduct, mostly because that is what stood out to me the strongest, there were a number of other objections about their code of conduct, to the point where I kind of lost track of the number of authors who withdrew from this particular award competition once they exceeded what you get 2 hands, 5 feet, 10. Once we got to double digits on the normal, the base 10 counting system that y'all use, because 10 fingers and 10 toes. Why isn't it base 20? But anyways, once we got past 10 authors withdrawing from the competition because the code of conduct and the bizarre application of it was so strange, it just started getting kind of funny to me. And in terms of interesting things, this was a nothing award as far as I could tell. I mean, congratulations to the people who had won the award in the past, because, award, win, no big deal. But the authors who withdrew from the award because the code of conduct was silly and being capriciously applied, man, you should check out their sales numbers. There is one author in particular who is currently outselling a copy, or the original copy of Dune. Yeah, Dune. Frank Herbert. The Dune. Now, admittedly, it's an old book, fine. But thanks to all of the, I don't care what they say about me as long as they spell my name right, publicity, he is outselling Dune right now. Think of being a science fiction author and being able to put that quill under your cap. I mean, come on. So yeah, someone on the Twitters actually proposed the hypothesis that this absolute implosion of this award thing was actually kind of like a sneaky deal about like trying to convince these authors to pull out and therefore increase their sales and this, that, and the other. Although watching their Twitter feed now, no, unfortunately, the award is attempting to cover their rapidly skeletal hiney as fast as they possibly can. So no, they really fumbled the thankfully non-nuclear football and have no idea what to do now. And everyone else is just raking in the cash, which is awesome. I mean, awards are great and all, but sales pay the bills. Or, as the saying goes on your planet, exposure is typically lethal. Which leads me to really my core premise of this entire rant. And yes, as always, we start these live streams with rants. If anyone knows any absolutely silly code of conduct for some award ceremony or something adjacent to that I can go and like wantonly, flagrantly violate just for the giggles, let me know. Because I mean, I assume that book sales and YouTube subscribers are kind of the same in that they're easily collectible as long as you do something silly and performative. Although, admittedly, pulling out of this award thing wasn't silly necessarily. But anyways, yeah, I'm all about. I mean, if nothing else, subscribing costs you nothing, whereas buying a book actually is fairly cheap these days, which is totally awesome. And now I should line up on the comments. Wow. I have been ranting so long, I lost track of where we were. And there's nothing wrong with not having Twitter or any real social media app. That's totally fine. I will say that I do most of my social media on Twitter just because it appeals to my limited attention span and deliberately confining myself to 240 characters, even though I don't technically have to because Twitter pays me to pay them to have a blue check, and therefore I can write longer tweets. It helps me consolidate my thoughts better than I clearly do on this live stream. Let's see here. Yes, Lawrence Fraser, there will in fact be a delay. Mostly it's just me yammering, but hopefully YouTube will help you catch up. Current bitstream is lower than recommended. Hold on, maybe I broke something. Can everyone else hear me just fine? Trying to verify confirmation or so forth and so on. Alright, we do have confirmation that I am heard. Okay. Apparently there was a hiccup in the intertubes, which is totally not surprising at all, given that I'm having to work through YouTubes, which is notoriously problematic, and then, of course, all of the necessary mechanics to get, me to the YouTubes, because that's not challenging at all. All right. Now that I've done my rant, and everyone who is going to show up has probably shown up by now, let's go ahead and cut to the chase, so to speak. And yes, ladies and gentle people, this is in fact probably, hopefully, maybe, possibly, the end of our FTL Multiverse expedition. We have reached the level wherein we encounter the big bad. Unfortunately, thanks to someone's decision the last time we live streamed, we lost like 4 of our 7 crew members. Yeah. Wasn't really great. Yes, Verizon definitely did the "Can you hear me now?" That's not to say we won't continue live streaming. I am sure we'll figure out something to live stream. Someone just proposed something called Sea Power Naval Combat in the Missile Age, which looks kind of fascinating. It looks like a massively updated, massively currentized, is that a term, version of a somewhat old game on your planet called Harpoon. And there is nothing wrong with updates. Especially when you can, shoot down all the Soviet aircraft you care to shoot down. Because, yeah. Anyways, moving on. FTL, yes. And we're buffering again. For fornication's sake. Error. Buffering again, buffering again, buffering again. It's acting weird. Hold on, let me see what I can do on my end. This may get a little weird. Please stand by. This is, in fact, a modded FTL. It's called Multiverse. And let me see what I can do. Please stand by. Is it getting any better on your end? It's not showing us any better on my end yet. Hold on. As much as a couple seconds. For heaven's sake. Yes, all of the other live streams are in fact archived, and you don't have to sit through all the buffering while you're watching them, and I don't know what the problem is right now. There shouldn't actually be a problem right now, and I don't know how to fix it. Well, you know what? I think we're just going to plow on, and I guess we'll just deal with it as it happens. Hopefully, it will eventually clear itself, and we'll have no further problems, but in the meantime, suck it up, I guess? Sorry. I could turn everything off and turn everything back on again, but then y'all would have to come back and find the new stream. Yeah, we're getting some varying responses. All right, I think we're just going to plow on, and if it gets better, it gets better. If it doesn't, I guess come back and watch this later, I suppose. Again, I apologize, because I only have so much control over this entire situation. Unfortunately, Odyssey and Rumble are too busy taking pot shots at each other to be technically viable platforms, and Twitter is always a weird situation. So, yeah. We'll just plow on. All right. We are in, I believe, the final sector. Yes, here we are. Who the hell are the judges? Why do I care about judges? Base. That's great. Repair, repair. Merchant! We need crew members! Hey, Merchant. Who are the judges? Why do we hear about judges again? I have totally forgotten. Is there a storyline tab somewhere? Missions? Are commercials normal? No, they shouldn't be. Alright, y'all give me a yay or nay as to whether I should restart this or just keep plowing ahead. I am happy to restart this. It invariably sheds viewers because they have to come back and find the new link or whatever. But I am willing to do whatever y'all want me to do. And given the buffering, I'm guessing that everything is broken. Fantastic. Potato. Alright, y'all. We'll probably be restarting this then. Please stand by. Or no, hold on, we seem to have smoothed out again. Plowing on, for heaven's sake. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. Fine, plowing on. Alright, Federation Database. Mission report? Nope. Learn about tasks? Nope. Ships upgrade mission report? Reputation data. We don't have great reputation except with anyone except the Argeon, which great, cool. Boss data. We have access to the Hector Mega Market. Great. Renegade data. Nope.